West. Salute to everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome to the Damu Kiwe Conversations. It's Duke Sims, the Don. And if y'all can't tell, I feel a lot better. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all I thought all I needed was one more day. And one more day. And now I'm up in this joint. Y'all hit that like button on your way in. And come chill, tell a friend. It's Yael and the Don, Duke Sims, the Damu Kiwe Conversations. Salute. I'm going to call y'all back. Says salute, red heart, salute, blue heart. You know what I'm saying? We stay active in our chucks over here, so make sure when you come in, you hit that like button, comment, and stay active in the chat and share. Man, please do that. Young Roan, a.k.a. Baby Dig, I'm here. Young Roan finally got his wrench. I told him to go comment in the he wasn't doing it. He did it today, though. Selena, salute to the team and to the chat. Salute, make sure you get them likes up in as you enter. Y'all hit that like button, man. Kid the Barber, shout out to Damu and Kiwe Conversations, Duke Sims and Yael. Hey, man, salute to you, Kid the Barber. You know what I'm saying? Slime Ball TV with your looking ass. Always looking. Super Snipper or Sniper says, Wack knows his days are numbered. Man, Wack forgot that he said other day that people still have to check in with him. So now he's taking over the crew. Hey, listen. We got a video that's going to be exposing a lot of that also. You know what I'm saying? Scandalous Los Angeles should be dropping any minute. Y'all hit that like button. The facts now, 600 is for sure working with them dudes. Hey, Wack, for everything you do in the dark shall come to the light. Hey, that's a fact. Whatever goes on in the dark comes into the light. You know what I'm saying? Baby Dig is in the building. Hit the like button on your way in. It's like wiping your feet at the door. Yeah, just show a little bit of respect. Dollar Man, love from Ohio. What part of Ohio, though? I have an app that tells me if you didn't hit that like button, don't make me have to use it. Mike B. Salute to Mike B, man. You know what I'm saying? Money Grip, salute. Salute to the Damu and Kiwe Conversations. Real ones with real content. The revolution will be televised. We are the revolution. Black power. Hey, bro, I'm glad that you spoke on that. Black liberation and black freedom, man. And salute to the chat. You know what I'm saying? I see y'all coming in. We played that Sections, Yael, featuring Joe Moses and Coyotes for Hire. And Spirit Wonder, what's up? West. Shout out to Damu and Kiwe Conversations and the whole entire chat. Shout out to you. Whoa. Digital. Is that like, I don't know what that is. That's a mixture of the Thiz and Tylenol, nigga. That nigga on some real gang drugs, nigga. That's some new gang drug. But Fat Daddy, what up? Papa Dirt, what up? Damu Kiwe Conversations, Crips and Bees, family. Facts. Fat Daddy, CS2K. Salute, Fat Daddy. Centrell Great. Salute. District 13 in this thing. Shout out to District 13, man. We are on Clubhouse right now. Shout out to the whole District 13, Phoenix, Jay, Danny, the beautiful Danny, and my boy Stan on the media. You know what I'm saying? Salute Money Grip. Miss Lisa. Look, I want to apologize publicly because I misread a text I got from Miss Lisa today, and I got at her kind of foul because I misinterpreted it. As a man, I do apologize humbly and publicly. You know what I'm saying? Even though the disrespect was privately, I want to make sure that everybody knows that I offended a woman, and I was man enough to catch myself when I realized I did, and apologize to her, man. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? I hope that she accepted. But if y'all didn't know, welcome to the Damu and Kiwe Conversations. Is peace possible? Not with WACK100 and these rat-ass niggas. That's my answer, and we'll get into that later. But until then, we got Yael in the building. Kiwe Pop for himself.
Hey, nah. Hey, fuck that. We got the content on Lamonte. He out here abusing bitches. Hey, we got the content. Hey, come to the 100 side, dude. I'm tired of you. Hey, Damu, I'm tired of you disrespecting all the ladies.
Keep the B out your mouth, nigga. You ain't a Damu. Keep the B up out your mouth.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey, salute to every. Hey, we on Clubhouse with it?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, salute to everybody on Clubhouse. Salute to the goo. Hey, salute to everybody on stage and the mods that's on their job. If you guys are in the room right now, make sure you share it 3 times. So in the hallway, we can get that shine. Salute to everybody on YouTube Live right now. Y'all already know the chat is where it's at. Salute to the mods on their job, the Blue Wrench mobs, that is. And salute to the friends that tapped in, that total friend. And if you are a first-time subscriber, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this content. Y'all know what it is. We got Deuce M's, the Don, and Yael, the Kiwe pop star. Y'all see the title? You hearing the most authentic voices with the receipts, the voices of the West Coast and the culture. Damu Kiwe Conversations.
Cleveland in the house, 216.
Hey, that's Cleveland. Hey, I believe in
FHN, Sue Woo, much love. CC Riders. Hey, man, appreciate that love from the Captain Crip Riders. FHN for sure. You know what I'm saying? And the debt, what up?
So, dudes.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this title, brother, and I'm reading it, right? And I think people will misinterpret what we're doing because they'll say, I thought these brothers was about unity. I thought these brothers was about peace. I thought these brothers was about bringing the red and blue together because we are trying to touch green, right? And that's a true fact. We are. Hey, y'all, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? But what we're not finna do, we're not going to compromise our integrity on our morals because a bag gets in the way and it blinds that sound discretion that we should all have. So we'll run this content and Deuce whenever you're ready, man. We'll get ready to get into that.
Well, first, I want to send some prayers out to my pops. I know he's listening right now.
Man, salute.
You know what I'm saying? He was rushed to the hospital and admitted. You know what I'm saying? He's always here. And let me make sure I send him the link because he'll get in his feels. You know what I'm saying? But he made it out of ICU. It contained him, and now he's he got a room and he's stable. So thank God for that. You know, he is a dinosaur and he don't take care of himself. Old honorary motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's just who he is. You know what I'm saying? Don't think you gonna change that when a motherfucker 67, whatever, however old he is now. You know what I'm saying? But that's my pops. It is what it is, and I'm here for him. So, to answer the question that Yael spoke on, and we're going to get into the content as everybody start hitting that like button because I see y'all ain't hitting that like button, right? So, what we got to do is we got to show y'all that just because we want peace, hold on, let's show this. Let's start this back over.
True liberation of black people.
Let's start this back over. Tell me not let me start it back over.
Betrayers and snitches and hypocrites and weak-minded,
Here it go.
We all not gonna be together. This ain't no damn unity party with punks. This ain't no unity party with people who don't want the true liberation of black people. This ain't no unity party with betrayers and snitches and hypocrites and weak-minded, weak-blooded, spineless people. This ain't that kind of party. So you take your raggedy ass on home. But those who want liberation,
Moonshade Free, what up?
those who want to see black people really free at last.
Willie Ramirez,
You
what
walk
up?
away from these punctified Negroes. Unless you unite the
Let's let that play one more time because I don't think y'all heard the minister, man. Big Money say, buying tent, poor righteous student salute. Hit that like button on y'all way in. Let me start that back over, man, because that was powerful. Just because we want unity, this ain't no unity party of punks. So if you part of the rich grinder movement, then get the up out of here, man. Let's go. I don't know why they not letting me I don't know why they not letting me go ahead and play this right now, but it's all right. We already heard it once. That's good enough. Speaking of rich grinder, before we get into the piece, it's bitch made niggas like him that bro, I truly appreciate you, and dudes, we appreciate you too and your support, Big Money.
Blessings, brother.
Just if y'all didn't know, it's a dude, he wants some clout. He talks about he want to fade. He didn't get his fade to get put on 60s. He jumped on the internet false flagging like he really was that. Portraying something that he never lived and just trying to exploit that. He's so thirsty for attention, just like a bitch. Just like one of them, you know what I'm saying? A mermaid, you know what I'm saying? Just like one of them, right? And also, this dude is pushing 50. You know what I'm saying? 50 years old. And you want to act like you're a gang member, but you're faking. You want to act like you're tough. Because throughout your life, you was never tough. The homie from 6-0 heard this fool claiming he was for 60s, and the bro told that nigga pull up and get his put on. Because this is what I am. Come get your put on. He came back to the internet ever since he said he was a non-affiliate. This the weirdo that want to act like the Don got something to prove. No, you're in your midlife crisis. You've been exposed as being a mermaid or a mermaid lover. I don't know whether you're pitching and catching and really don't give a fuck. It's just more example of how fake you is. But let's get into this real quick.
The Mook.
Is that
Why are they watching back on Fig while they're on Grinder?
Oh my God, that is some freaky shit. Grinder and back on Fig at the same time.
Who's thinking about T-Rail while they're on Grinder?
Grinder and back on Fig is crazy.
This is getting spooky. Booka booka.
Damn.
Who is this person, y'all?
They said P's and Q's.
P's and Q's. So is that the editor?
P's and Q's. He's the one.
Oh, okay. So I guess he's recording this, and he's saying that this is the footage
that he got.
Oh,
so he's
saying that
he
got sent in a screen shot.
He's proving the evidence.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Oh, so it ain't his.
So he's the link.
He's proving.
How do you have Grindr on your phone?
I already told you. I thought it was an app for hustlers. I thought I was trying to chase the bag.
Hustlers?
I didn't know I was gonna get fucked. It's not my fault, bro. I fell for the trap. I was networking.
Wait, what?
Who was this with the New York Knicks hat?
We need to identify who this is.
That's one of them. And then let's go to the other one.
Jesus Christ, look at this shit.
He gets done looking at his YouTube analytics. He goes to the home screen of his phone, and then he clicks on this particular app right here called Grindr. So he
Oh my God. Damn. Flacco
Hit
is
that
on the
like button on your way in,
Why do you
Cameron.
have Grindr on your phone?
I already told you. I thought it was an app for hustlers. I thought I was trying to chase the bag.
Hustler.
I didn't know I was gonna get fucked. It's not my fault, bro. I fell for the trap. I was networking. I was networking.
Wait, what?
Jesus Christ, look at this shit.
He gets done looking at his YouTube analytics. He goes to the home screen of his phone, and then he clicks on this particular app right here called Grindr. So he
Oh my God. Damn. Flacco is on a war. Jesus.
Why do you have Grindr on your phone?
I already told you. I thought it was an app for hustlers. I thought I was trying to chase the bag.
Hustler.
I didn't know I was gonna get fucked. It's not my fault, bro. I fell for the trap. I was networking. I was networking.
Wait, what?
Jesus Christ, look at this shit.
He gets done looking at his YouTube analytics. He goes to the home screen of his phone, and then he clicks on this particular app right here called Grindr. So he
Oh my God. Damn. Flacco is on a war. Jesus.
Why do you have Grindr on your phone?
I already told you. I thought it was an app for hustlers. I thought I was trying to chase the bag.
Hustler.
I didn't know I was gonna get fucked. It's not my fault, bro. I fell for the trap. I was networking. I was networking.
Wait, what?
I was going to the trap. I was networking. What are you doing? Imagine his girl catching him like P's and Q's got him on Grindr. Why do you got Grindr on your phone in the first place? And you want to convince us that you're tough? Why you didn't get your put on 60s when you was in junior high school and elementary and high school like the other gangbangers did? But you want us to believe you're tough. This bitch ass Gump is taking Taibo classes, pushing 50, talking about he tough. We don't believe you. You need more people. This is why we don't have peace. You get bitch ass homosexuals and people who try to exploit our culture as if they participated or are active parts of our culture. Narcissistic pieces of shit like this dude. You was always a spectator on the outside looking in. You didn't make the cut. You should be thankful because you would have been getting a put off instead of put on at pushing 50, right? Because once they found out you was a Gump, they would have put your bitch ass off. So, salute to the community. Everybody here, hit the like button. Help us congratulate the Rich Grinder on coming out, the Mermaid Trapper. You know what I'm saying? Man, that nigga was false flagging, man. You ain't seen the pictures? He throwing up neighborhood 60s, blue rags, and all of that, man. That nigga ain't got put on, ain't never slid. His niggas is Crip sympathizers, man. He should be glad because he ain't too far from my age. He could have been a victim, man. You know what I'm saying? We was on that. You know what I'm saying? So he should just go ahead, finish coming out the closet. We already all know you know, you got sugar in your tank. You know what I'm saying? It was obvious from the beginning you was a little feminine. You know what I'm saying? Clapping it. Man, if you don't get out of here, Shanae, let's get to the content, though, man. Hit that like button. We got the content. Damu and Kiwe Conversations. Is peace possible, man? We go in Los Angeles. We finna get into it, man. Shout out to Rap News and Street Politics. They are definitely on fire. This one's kind of old, but I believe it was relevant, man, because it's going to help us bring out a lot of other stuff. Let's go. Oh, hold on. I was trying to put the thing up. Hold on 1 second. Damn, I got my coffee and the thing, but I'm finna start this video, so we'll be on right now. Give me a couple seconds. Yael still didn't come back? All right, boom. We got that. Now let's go.
Where we see the beef die down, especially.
We got to go all the way back, and they might give us a commercial.
Rap News Street Politics, best hood channel on YouTube. And we back again to touch on a crazy topic that's really popping out the city right now, man.
Hit that like button.
Peace between the black hoods in LA.
G-Mac, what
Now,
up?
specifically, we've seen the neighborhood Crips, the gangsters, and the Hoovers get together on a couple occasions and try to align themselves with this peace movement throughout the city, specifically in Los Angeles. Now, this is coming right after Compton and a few of the Paru sets out there had a peace walk down Rosecrans to really set things straight in their city. Now, for y'all that don't know, Compton and LA politics are different. So this is why this move would specifically impact hoods on the west and the east side of Los Angeles and South Central. Now, like I said, them three factions have got together, but the implications for something like this could be so crazy, and man, it may seem far-fetched, but almost every black hood, especially in the Crip card, could be affected by this move. So that's why we asked the question, what would peace look like in LA between the black hoods? So what a lot of people don't know outside the city is that it's more than just these three cars that are aligned and that politic throughout the city, and that could be affected by something like this. So off the bat, we already know we got neighborhood Crips. Most of them dudes is gonna be Crip gangs, CGs, not gangster Crips, and they're gonna be pushing that dude's time. Now, we also have hoods that aren't neighborhood Crips, but are Crip gangs and still push the dude's time. And then we also have gangster Crips that are aligned with neighborhood Crips and don't push the three. Now, aside from that, something that y'all may also hear about is the Rollin' O car. That's going to be specific to West Side Crip gangs in that Rollin' O car from the 30s to the 100s. These dudes have sat down at the table as well. Then aside from that, you got the Hoovers. You got mostly criminals, but you also have a gangster Crip Hoover set. You got Mafia Crips, Block Crips, and this move would probably touch on a couple hustler Crips that could be affected by this as well as some other gangs that are just Crips that don't push the deuce or the Trey time. But like I said, something like this could affect all of these cars throughout the city. So in actuality, it's really a well-organized mess that's really popping off in Los Angeles right now with so many different sets forming alliances that may not follow the guidelines that was set forth when these sets were originally put together. But nonetheless, you can really break it down to about 2 or 3 sides that are either allies or they're at war in the city. So let's jump right into it.
Us in the 60s ain't been having no problems.
Who beefs? Who gang banging?
The LA Crip peace meeting, right?
Citywide peace meeting for the Crips in LA.
You know, it's been a few peace talks, peace walks.
It seems like the streets is maturing. Matter of fact, they are growing up. The streets of LA.
What they doing out here, Taco?
Peace.
Peace. 60-90. So this really happened.
This really happened.
This really happened.
Period. And
All
they're happy and proud of it.
All right.
The Crippin' was never supposed to be this divided. Dudes like Tookie Williams and Raymond Washington really was preaching the alliance between the Crippin' on the west side and the east side of the city with the west side Crips and the east side Crips. Of course, as we see today, it's gotten way beyond that point. And we got to start in this area right here, man, with the A-Tray gangsters, the neighborhood Rollin' 90 Crips, the neighborhood Rollin' 60 Crips, and the Hoopers. So the A-Trays have always been long-standing rivals of the 9-0s and the 60s.
I hold this G shit down like an anchor. You wonder why? Cause I'm from A-Tray gangster. I'm from A-Tray gangster. 3 times, it's for A-Tray gangster. I'm from A-Tray gangster.
People have really gave the 9-0s credit for creating the divide between the neighborhood Crips and the gangster Crips. And when the 60s start beefing with the 8-trays, it seems like everything kind of got blown out of proportion with those two sides that made people choose you either gonna be from neighborhood or you gonna rock with the Gangsta Crips.
If I let this thing rip, it ain't no coming back. These niggas plotting on me need to fall back. From the 30s to the 100s, yeah, we all strapped. And if a nigga want war, nigga, all that.
But if I let this thing rip, ain't no coming back. All these niggas plotting on me need to fall back. From the 30s to the 100s, yeah, we all strapped. And any nigga want war, yeah, all that.
This is where the Hoovers came into play, where they started rocking with Gangsta Crips. That's who they was identifying with. And I believe they was already having issues with hoods in the hundreds like UG, who are also a part of that Rollin' 100 neighborhood Crip card. So a peace move can really be monumental all in this area right here, which is really one of the deadliest parts of the city, man. We seen dudes like Young and Hefe from 8-Tray Gangsta be with this. Lil AD from 60s. Don Bonelli speaking on this. Kev Mack from the 60s is playing a role. Lil Space Ghost from 9-0 playing the role. We know the Space Ghost name rings bells in the 90s. And it said the Hoovers have came out as well. So with something like this, if the 9-0s in the 60s stop beefing with the 8-Trays and the Hoovers in this section, hoods like 6-7 neighborhood Crips and the Menlos, who are right in between the 8.
Let me introduce to you the most comfortable cargo pants this summer. Meet multi-pants. They are cargo.
We want y'all to stay active.
Will also fall into place. Now, everything I'm saying, man, it's like hypothetical, ripple effect, domino effect shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like these are the implications these kind of moves could have because they that big.
Aye, 2 fingers thumbs up, nigga gon' A stomp, nigga can't H stomp, the nigga chuck the gang up. 2 fingers thumbs up, nigga gon' A stomp, nigga can't H stomp, the nigga chuck the gang up. Nigga, you ain't on the show, bro. Nigga standing on the corner with some loaches, nigga.
Now with the Hoovers, there's a lot of details that go into this because there's multiple Hoover hoods over here. On the south side of Florence, you got 7-4, 8-Tray, 9 Deuce, 9-4, 107, and 11 Deuce. And as you can see, 11 Deuce is going to stretch all the way back to Westmont in them hundreds. Now, this is where things get tricky because the Rollin' Hundreds is at this peace treat as well. But the Rollin' Hundreds is comprised of multiple sets. It's not just one hood like the 30s, 40s, 60s, 90s. It's a lot going on over here. And this is where we get to them hoods that we said is block Crips.
West Nine Bully said they me a shooter. I am not a red crab, so you know that I'm a shooter. Chase a nigga down the block. I ain't miss a 30 shot. Make a nigga do a flip. Knock a nigga out his shot. Bitch, I'm really with the gang on BF. My gun bang. You wanna see a dead bite and follow me? I know the way we do this shit like everything on Lil Flame is too easy. Pull up, hop it out, give it up. That's on me.
So we got about 3, arguably 4 block Crip hoods over here with some notable members that you may know. Tunchi 5, Snoopy Harvard, said Bino is associated with this section. Thirsty O, Cool Corleone. These dudes is popping right now. They outside and they've been pushing beef with the Hoovers very hard. And what we've heard from these dudes, amidst the meetings, BFG Blue Flame Gang, which is 107 block, UG, and 113th Street block, is not with the peace treaty. And these dudes also gonna be tight-knit with Pimp Town, which is a newer set. Now, I don't know how much these dudes play into the equation, but they gonna be there as well. Now, the blocks make up a piece of the hundreds, but again, the hundreds were there. But the thing is, blocks also beef with other hoods that's in the hundreds. They beefing with 111, neighborhood Crip, which is also a set that's part of the hundreds. And they also tied with 11-5, neighborhood Crips, another piece of the hundreds. Now, I don't know if this is a deadly war between these two sets. We done seen dudes sliding a couple years ago and saying some dissing between the two. So they got some internal beef over here. So I would imagine Block ain't the ones that showed up. They could be some older dudes from UG or Block could have been the ones to show up. But it could have really been them 111s or them 11-5s that showed up for the piece to represent the hundreds. There's also the Hard Time Hustlers over here, as well as the Bud Long Gangsters. Now, Bud Long is one of them gangster Crip hoods that we told y'all about that's kind of going against the grain of how they started. They beef with the A-Trays, they beef with the Hoovers, and they fuck with the Hundreds. So what we could see, if the young life from Block and UG is not with it, pure speculation, pure just, you know what I'm saying, going off the cuff with this shit, we can see hoods like 111 and 11-5 be with that. But I could really see, man, Block breaking off from being a part of the Hundreds to take a stand against this peace treaty and to keep the beef alive with the Hoovers. So the Blocks, these hoods in this section right here, we can see these dudes kind of just on their own island right now. I don't know where the Hard Time Hustlers stand, but I also know they've also had a beef. I don't know if that's still going on and active with the 111s. So the Hundreds is a very delicate place right now for the peace treaty, but somebody's with it over here. That's the thing. So let's just put 111 and the 11-5s to be with that peace treaty. And again, hoods like Hard Time, Bud Long, and the Blocks, they stand in their ground right now. But even with that being said, this leaves room for dudes like 99 Mafia and another Hard Time Hustler set, 103 Hard Time, to end their beef with some of the Hundreds as well, because 103 Hard Time is not going to be like 104 Hard Time. They're not a part of the Hundreds. They fuck with the Hoovers in this section. And 99 Mafia, they've been known to be on and off with A-Tray gangsters, but they've also been known to beef it with the Block hoods and the Hundreds. So these dudes could now potentially be cool with at least the 111s and 11-5s of the Hundreds. Still some crazy implications with this, man. Now, other things that could be implied with this, something that nobody's really talking about, is where the Bloods stand in this whole peace movement right now.
You paid for it, I get that shit for the F, nigga.
Back in high school, yeah, I graduated with all F. I got all F tats, yeah, it's tatted up on my flag. When I be from B team, little niggas better step. If I feel animosity, I get it up off my chest.
I'm trying to fuck, bitch, let me be your best friend.
So you see this whole section between the A-Trays, the 9-0s, and the Hundreds is going to be the borderline to Inglewood. Now, we know the 9-0s and the Hundreds, as well as the 60s, have beefed it hard with Inglewood family and the other Inglewood blood and Pyru sets alike. But A-Tray Gangster has had good relations with some of these blood hoods out here because of the beef.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Save
up to 23% by bundling your home and auto with
Y'all
us.
ain't got nothing to say.
Food
huh?
inspo you've been looking for?
Y'all
The
ain't got
spicy
nothing
black
to
bean
say,
burger.
but a lot
It's
of
good on
out of
farms.
state
Morningstar
motherfuckers
farms.
that ain't never
They
been
share
to
with the
land
neighborhood
got
Crips.
something to say.
So to take it a step further, man, we have dudes from the 90s and the 60s potentially coming together with the A-Trays. The Hoovers as well have also been said to have some decent relationships with the Inglewood Bloods. Now, I don't know if this is all of them or if it's just Inglewood family that have been decent with the Hoovers. But what we could see here, man, is A-Tray and the Hoovers could potentially bring Inglewood family to the table if everything goes right between the neighborhood and the gangster car. And, you know, this really opens up the piece to a whole nother level, because with Inglewood family having a extremely deep set and a lot of influence in Inglewood, they well respected as well as the other sets over here. But if we can see the Inglewood families putting their differences aside, especially with the 60s and the 90s, this could have a ripple or a domino effect with hoods like NHP, Inglewood Neighborhood Pyru. Sidnella Park would already be with that because they pretty much all the way in with Inglewood family. So that would come as a given with Inglewood and Sidnella Park. And West Side Avenue Pyru will also be potentially open to the peace treaty if the Inglewood family Gangsta Bloods was willing to come to the table with their longtime rivals in the 60s and the 90s. Now, where does that leave Queen Street? I think Queen Street would be open to that as well. You know, the Bloods in Inglewood are very tight-knit. There's been known to be some beef in the past between some of these hoods. I don't think it's out of control at this point. I think everything looks pretty good over there on that side of town. So everybody over here, including Center Park and the Weirdos, I think would be with it. Now, a hood.
Real quick, if y'all paying attention, in this whole outline from Inglewood all the way through the southern to the northernest part of South Central LA, Every block is accounted for with a color, is set, and people done died for these blocks. People done killed for them blocks. People done lost loved ones and done jail time for these communities and the wars to maintain safety from rival sets in these communities. These are a lot of different divides that they're trying to bridge. Pay attention. Damu Kiwe conversation. Let's go.
Good that I would have a question mark about is Crenshaw Mafia. Now, with Crenshaw Mafia always being tight with Denver Lane doesn't have a stake in the race in terms of having a side to choose from because they've been known to beefing with the Hoovers and the neighborhood Crips. I can't say what their current relationship is right now where they trade, but with them beefing with the Hoovers and the neighborhoods, I would say the alliance between Denver Lane and Crenshaw Mafia may be tougher to move. But as you can see, we already got an enormous situation on our hands when the Inglewood Bloods are implicated in something like this. Because we also can't forget about the legends in Inglewood.
Fuck the hot bitch, they kicked her out, shake her ass home. What the fuck was the nigga thinking? Never bring him home, I slip a little snap. Bad guy, yeah, big yo. Yeah, you from the gang, don't let the grip who did your put on. All black man, black hoodie, get my boogie on. Cream made, or 6 feet, we want some niggas gone. Y'all ain't celebrate, when your fire fucking came home. Why you hesitate to tell that fuck nigga that he wrong?
Now, we know the legends rock with the neighborhood Crips, one of few Crip hoods, along with the Tongans, in Inglewood. So, if the families and the other Inglewood Bloods are able to come to the table with some of the other neighborhood Crips, that would automatically include the legends as well. So, you know, where we at right now, we already got damn near 50% of the West Side hoods potentially coming to the table off this move right here. Now, we know it's a lot going on the East Side, but it's still a lot of hoods on the other side of Florence as well, going back up to the 60s. Now, we've talked about a number of hoods, including the blocks, Crenshaw Mafia, Denver Lane. There's some real question marks between them right now because Denver Lane and Crenshaw Mafia don't have to fuck with nobody else. The blocks don't have to fuck with the Hunters. And other sets, once we go back up north, it's some more sets over there that really have no stake in the race either. Some sets that will potentially be looking to still beef it. We got the Brims.
They go to commercial as soon as they get to the set. Hit that like button.
Dear cable
man.
internet,
Share, tell
I've
a
met
friend.
someone. US Cellular Home Internet and I just have a stronger connection.
V&G's Harvard Park in Fruittown.
Welcome to the set, this the land of the brand. Where we gang bang from the streets to the pen.
Nigga, what it is.
Nigga, what it do from the deuce to the nest to the motherfucking fruit. Hey, welcome to the set, this the land of the brand. Baby, nah. Where we gang bang and scream at fake chin. Nigga, what it is. Nigga, what it do from the deuce to the nest to the motherfucking fruit. Look, nigga, all face getting ran to the back. Land of the brand, up for packing out gnats in my.
Now, the Brims beefing with the neighborhood Crips and the Hoovers as well. So there's really no incentive for these dudes to say we don't want to stop beefing. You know what I'm saying? They're not aligned with either side of the piece.
Did y'all see me right there though? Always. You can see me over here too with the bracelet on.
Street.
Boom.
They do have good relations with the Inglewood Bloods, but I don't think that's enough to move the Brims off their position, off their current position that they have on the West Side, beefing with the Hoovers, beefing with the 60s, with the rolling 50s and the 40s, as well as the 6-7 and the Menlos. So we'll leave them areas alone. Now, when we get over here and start talking about these Brim hoods, it's also a whole lot going on between the gangsters and the neighborhoods in this section. So like it was said, hoods from the 30s to the 100s was at these peace talks. So the 30s and the 40s and the 50s would be included in that as well. Now, recently on Skip Townsend channel, we seen Spody Face and Faux Extra, some guys that y'all may not think would be talking about any of this peace shit. These dudes said they would all of that.
For sure, I always want peace in my neighborhood. I don't want harm to come to my neighborhood, and I definitely don't want nobody to die in my neighborhood. For sure, I'm gonna push for peace. You know what I'm saying? And
that's the first time that I heard something sensible coming from Faux Extras. That's the first time I seen him say something that reflects the strategic thinking of a general. I mean, he been active. He always talking about punching on shit and off the bat. But that's the first time I heard him say something that made me say, damn, maybe he can think for others. He keep going in and out of jail, just didn't match up. I never had heard him say that till I seen this video. But salute to that brother. Free him. I don't know if he in jail right now or if he got back out, but free him anyway, man. Let's go.
Area. I always want that in my area. You get what I'm saying? Watch these kids grow up over here. These grandmas watch me grow up over here. So of course I'm gonna push for that.
All right, well shit, I'm gonna push for y'all. Y'all pushing for peace.
You know what I'm saying? They with it for their community, and it looked like they ready for some change in their section. So with the 40s coming to the table, and the 40s is a hood that, again, most people is not thinking they with any of that. Initially, when I was thinking about it, I'm like, man, these dudes may take the same stance as Fleazy Gang, Blue Flame with Tunchi now. They not with none of that. But Skip, again, linked up with these dudes, and they said they was. So aside from the Brims, we got the 40s over here to the table, which is major for this section. The 40s have been tightening with the 30s in this section, who both beef with 5-1 Trouble, 5 Deuce, and 5-9 Hoover in this section. So what we can see is the 60s, the 40s, and the 30s be with it. The 50s would be with it too. 5-5, 5-7, 5-8. I highly doubt they will be the odd man out in this section and want to keep the beef going. I think the 50s would be there too. So this whole section.
Where y'all go? Let me see where he at. Maybe he's still at work. But that's crazy that they jumping right off the Brims and just counting the Brims out. We got a lot of leadership. We're the oldest set out of all of these sets that they're naming. We've been there, right? A war set. So I understand why he's saying the Brims, you can't expect them because they're surrounded. Everywhere you go, they're surrounded by blue, even orange, which they beef with the orange too. Just those 3 little hoods beefing against all of this blue. That's a lot of scars. That's a lot of trauma. Generations, 50 years of trauma, pain. So it's a sensitive situation. But I think that they wrong for counting us out because it's some real good leadership over there, positive leadership that would be open to such conversations if they were serious about those conversations. Not because of the situation. The homies feel like they ain't lost a war yet. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, to echo what Fo Extra said, you don't want to see none of your homies unalive. You don't want to see none of them little kids, innocent kids, getting hit on an accident that grow up in your community. And I think that's universal, not just in the 40s, not just in the Brim. So I think that should be the starting point. You know what I'm saying? And it obviously, if your hood and your leadership doesn't give a fuck about that, then y'all need new leadership because they don't give a fuck about you. Let's get back to the video, man.
It's now sold up. And like I said, the 5-1 Troubles is going to be with the 5 Deuce Hoovers. They already on the 5-1 Deuce. So they going to be right with it. But some interesting things really come to play with this whole movement right here. So when you had the 30s and the 40s,
no favors, man.
They mess with some of these hoods that we was talking about are not neighborhood or gangsters, but they fuck with neighborhood and rolling those sets. Hoods like Schoolyard, West Boulevard, and Gear Gang.
That's West LA.
And what you have with the gangsters, which we've seen with the Hoovers and the Trey Card West LA gangsters, more specifically Big Sad from Playboy, they've been in the jungles, fucking with BPS.
Tuck my fingers up in the air, I throw gang signs. Boy, you seen yellows, you ain't never see that main line. Suck my dick, then she get to calling you on FaceTime.
Shout out to my nephew.
You ain't tripping, he gon' take on.
I walk in the dorm and pill, they like he banged out. My enemy's sons is tatted in their white.
Shout out Slumlord Trail too. That's the homie Blackstone. But let me back this up. You see the dude with the red hat right behind Sad?
Jungles. Fucking with BPS.
Tuck my fingers up in the air. I throw gang signs. Boy, you seen yellows. You ain't never see that.
Right here on the right, that's my homie that's Lil Jesse. Me and his dad was cellies and youth authorities the day he was born. You know what I'm saying? Young gangster. FIBA. You already know what to do. 5 Brimstone.
That mainline. Tuck my dick, then she get to calling you on FaceTime. Pop the scrap up. He ain't tripping, he gon' take time.
I walk in the dorm and pill, they like he banged out. My enemy's hoods is tatted and they whacked out. I'm straight to the back.
So this can really have implications all the way west, all the way to the far west, to Venice Showline hood, between these mid-city hoods and the West LA Trey gangsters, as well as the City Stones and the Jungle Black P Stones. Now we know the West LA Trey gangs, most of them for the most part, BY, BF, Marvin's, Playboys, they all pretty much on one accord over here. Aside from maybe the Mansfields, I think the Mansfields and the West LA Treys, I don't know if they see eye to eye right now, but with that being a whole movement over there, I think that can be pieced together as well between the Mansfields and the other West LA Trey gangs. And with the loose connection that they have with the other gangsters throughout the city, we know they fuck with the A-Trays. I was on La Brea not too long ago, see the 5-1s hitting up over there. We could see, due to the situation with the 30s, not beefing with 5-1 and the 5 Deuce Hoovers, there could potentially be peace between the mid-city hoods and Schoolyard, West Boulevard and Gear Gang, and the West LA Treys. But that's also gonna include the beef between Venice Showline and these West LA Treys. Venice Showline is another hood that's gonna push the Deuce time. They're not neighborhood, but they've always pushed that Deuce. And they tighten it with Schoolyard, and they fuck with the Harlems as well. So this could effectively end this West LA, far west, mid-city beef as well with these hoods. And like we said, we done seen the gangsters and the Hoovers both in the jungles. So if we got the 30s and the 40s cool with the Hoovers and the 5-1s and the West LA Treys who fuck with the jungles and the City Stones. Now I'm going on a limb right now. This is just making the connections between who's fucking with who we seen with who, and when the beef stops, the jungles and the City Stones could come to the table to clean it up with the 30s and the 40s. Some other shit, man. Crazy shit.
I'll show you the ropes, kid. Show you the ropes. There it is.
I told you crazy implications, full-on domino effect, and we damn near got 100% of the west side on a peace tree. Now, the last hood over here in this section that could be affected by all of this, who also has representation in this whole situation, is going to be neighborhood Rolling 20 Bloods. Now, this is the area Skip Townsend is from, and I'm pretty sure Skip got his hands all over the situation, pushing peace throughout the city. We seen him on Rosecrans with the Pyrus in Compton, and he's stamping his name as somebody that's pushing this motive in the city right now. So with the 20s, we know their main beef is going to be with the 30s and the 40s, as well as hoods in the mid-city and West LA as well. But mostly it's going to be the 30s that they going at it with. They cool with the Stones, but they have a real good relationship with the Brims. So to me, it's a no-brainer that the 20s would be able to come to the table and hash out their differences as long as everything else is going the way it should. The 20s may be the key to the city having the Brims along with this movement as well, because this hood is going to be close to Fruittown. Fruittown going to be locked in with them other 2 Brim sets, and again, they tighten it with the 20s. So if we see any movement from the Brims, I would say it's Skip Townsend from Rolling 20 Blood that's going to be able to do that. And this right here would effectively have about less than 10 hoods between the 10 and the 105 black gangs that's still beefing on the west side. Now, we're not talking about Hispanic gangs that's cool with some of these hoods that we've covered yet. We got to get to that because there's a lot of implications that go along with that as well. But something that some people may not realize is how the east side fits into this as well across the 110. The thing about the east side, man, the politics get real different, especially when we get to the 4-pack. Now, 4 Deuce, 4 Trey, and 4A Gangsta Crip is going to be right on the other side of the 110 from the West Side 40s. But the thing is, these dudes, even though they Gangsta Crip, they main beef is with the 5 Trey and 40 Avalon Gangsta Crips.
Ain't no sitting back, we bless and play when it's go time. Show you pussy niggas how we slide on the A-line. Fuck Gamble Lizzie on the set, ain't making no noise. That's South Park tripping, politicking with the Playboys. Flip a nigga top, trying to slide on even Playboy. And yeah, we tote Glock with slapping choppers cause they make noise. South Park's with the Playboys play, and my Avalon Crips out here screaming, hey, hey.
The Avalons is really pushing the 3. They fuck with the Gangsta Crip card. The 4-pack is going to be allied with the biggest neighborhood set on the east side. And that moving coast to coast movement, they tighten it with the East Coast Crips. And it's been like that for a very long time. So this is one of them Gangsta Crip hoods that we was talking about that's not really pushing the 3. Some people say they may as well just go become neighborhood because they beefing with the gangsters and they hanging with East Coast. And we also have Fidu's Broadway Gangsta Crip in this area. So what we see is the neighborhoods on the west side getting along with the gangsters and the Hoovers. If East Coast goes along with that, from the 6-pack all the way down to 190, we can see the 4-pack clean it up with the 5 Trey and the 40 Avalons, as well as the Fidu's Broadways. And this is one of the biggest beefs in South Park. So that will be something that's extremely monumental to transpire on the east side. But again, I feel like the 4-pack would only move if the East Coast neighborhood Crips was going to move as well. So when we come down to them dudes, they kind of set the blueprint for how this whole situation can transpire, with how everything was orchestrated between them and Florencia. Now, a key thing is, a lot of people are saying it's going to take the little homies to be with it. It's going to take the little homies to do this. The little homies got to do that. We got to holler at them.
When it's time, we gon' ball. We gon' buzz back, kill them all. Wanna blow about 10 racks at the mall. Then call it light work. And niggas only kill shit when they off a bird. Crazy on this planet Earth. I was raised up on the east, that shit'll really curse you. It ain't about money, it's respect, that's the real purpose. I've been fighting demons for a minute, but the bag splurge. Told her baby.
But what we seen with the East Coast, and we talked about this with East Coast countless times, we see some real unity with the Coast Guard on the east side. They OGs got together with members of Florencia. I believe Skip Townsend was instrumental in that as well. But it was the OGs to hold their young members accountable. They older homies, like Doc Thone, wanted to stop the beef with Florencia. And if anybody in the coast wasn't with it, we seen dudes was being held accountable for their actions. So this is kind of going along with Young and Hefe when he's talking about, he doesn't understand when dudes is talking about hollering at the shooters or hollering at the young dudes that's outside putting work, because the older homies should be holding these dudes accountable and niggas should be putting belt to ass if they're not following the program.
But them is the poison. So I say to like dudes that was at them meets, dudes that have them voices, what are we going to do? And I'm not saying nothing because I can't expect from them little situations that just happened yesterday that somebody is just going to go get at that younger homie or chastise them, you know what I'm saying, anything. I know I would, I'm going to go holler because, we having a peaceful rally and this what it is. But for the most part, like my young homies, they probably don't even like it. And I got a lot of them with the bullshit, but just for respect and respect purposes, they hold their tongue. But they want to get active and stupid too. They from A-Trey gangsters.
So I think that's the whole thing right there. This whole movement got to play out like that. It has to play out the same way Florence and East Coast played out. Everybody got to be with it, and whoever is not with it got to be held accountable, or they can get their walking paper. Similar to how I'm talking about with the blocks. And I know some members of Hoover are saying the same shit. Some dudes from 60 saying the same shit. But I think the hoods and the hunters and the Hoovers will be able to somewhat break off, Like I said, them hoods, it's not just one hood. So if the 11 Deuce Hoovers is not with it and the rest of the Hoover cars is with it, we can see some crazy game-changing stuff where dudes are starting to break off from their original car. Now, again, this is just all hypothetical talk, but these, again, are the implications to a major move like this, pushing peace throughout the city. So when we come right here with the 6-pack East Coast and 5-9 East Coast, they right across the way, not too far from these 5 Deuce Hoovers and the 7-4 Hoovers. If they can further ally with their West Side neighborhood counterparts, then they can put the beat down against the Hoovers as well, who are not far from them. And then again, that would clean up the low bottoms with 4 Deuce, 4 Trey, and 4-8, 40 Avalon, 5 Trey Avalon, and Fadu's Broadway. Because I believe the Broadway and the Coast have fixed their issues as well. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think
But
so,
when we
too.
dropped East Side South Central and spoke about it, a lot of people saying Broadway and the Coast not beefing. So that's already a step in the right direction with the Gangsta Crip set and the East Side neighborhood set not beefing. Now, some more action we can see outside the 6-pack is with the 7 Trey Gangsta Crips and the 7 Trey Hustlers. Dudes that used to be rolling with neighborhood, but have aligned themselves with the 5 Trey and the 8-8 Avalons. Now, mostly they beefing with the Swans, but I know the 7 Trey Hustlers have been known to beef with the neighborhood Crips as well. So right outside the 6-pack, we can see some more unity pressing up against that borderline with the Swans, where the 7 Trey Gangsta Crips and the 7 Trey Hustlers are no longer beefing with the neighborhood Crips.
West Main, Diamond Lane, we frontline and shoot things. We pack fast stripes and keep it sack is how we do things. Trying to catch a nigga out slipping like a new game. LHP all the way to bump this so the rules came. We really hoop banging, fly shit in new chains. No matter what's the year, I'm trying to pull up in that new thing.
Now things get tricky when we get to the Swans. I believe the family Swans.
If you're a renter and you're not using Built to Pay rent, you are missing out on super valuable
This
points,
is
travel,
such a
ride,
great,
and so much more. Check it out.
Work,
Bitrix
man.
24 is the ultimate online
Such a great work.
workspace.
Y'all make
Project
sure y'all
management
go
tools,
there
we've got
and
them.
subscribe,
Powerful
man. Let's
are
go.
tied in with Inglewood family and Centinela Park. We already spoke on what it would take for those two hoods in Inglewood to come to the table. But I do not think the alliance between the Swans and the families in Inglewood would be able to bring the Swans to any type of agreement. Again, West Side and East Side politics are a little different, with the Swans being arguably the most active hood on the East Side. Not talking Watts, not talking Compton. On the east side of Los Angeles, these dudes are very active and they beefing with everything in terms of the cripping. I don't think they look in the Peachtree with gangsters or the neighborhood. So the Swans are going to be in another position, like we said the Brims was, if the 20s ain't able to get them on board on the west side, or the Denver Lanes and the Crenshaw Mafias. We can see the Swans not having an incentive to want to stop the beef with their enemies. And another hood that has no implications in this situation, I believe, would be the Kitchens.
Looking on some hater shit, it's all good, nigga. Don't snuff around in my section. Watch, nigga, you know when I keep a weapon, no flexing. Niggas I know getting reckless, rob your bitch and her granny, nigga. Better tuck your necklace. I'm sticking and moving, wood blowing while I'm cruising.
8-7 and 11-6. I think the Swans gonna stay there, and the Kitchens gonna stay there beefing with the Swans. Now everything is already said to be cleaned up between the Kitchens and the East Coast, so that situation is already done. So I don't think there's any more further movement for them dudes to do. These dudes are a crib gang, a CG, but I don't necessarily believe that these dudes is just rocking with every neighborhood crib car or gangster car. So these dudes is just like in the middle of everything right now. Again, no incentive for these dudes to come to the table and have any implications, especially with hoods peace treating on the west side. Now, an area that gets super tricky is between this 8-4 Main Street area, 9 Deuce 9-4 Hoover, 9-8 Main Street, and the 8-8 Avalon Gardens, as well as 8-7 and 9-7 Gangsters. I think this is one of the most trickiest areas on the east side. So 8-7 and 9-7 is going to be just like the 4-pack, where they moving coast to coast. They're not repping Gangsta Crip, which in turn is causing them to beef with the 8-8 Avalons. But just like the 4-pack with 5 Trey Avalon and 40 Avalon, if them dudes can clean it up there in the low bottoms, we could potentially see something cleaned up between 9-7 and 8-7 and the 8-8 Avalons. Now, like I said, this is an extremely active area in the city, just like most of them that we cover. But when you throw Main Street and the Hoovers in this situation, things just continue to level up. So the Main Streets is also going to be beefing with the 8-7s and the 9-7s, as well as being involved in an extremely active beef right now with the Hoovers.
Jumping out the truck, get the shooting, they like, what the fuck? All this ass of traffic, boogie down and blew the engine up. He ain't pulled a skid, he need to go and turn his crippin' up. Only told to stop when it's stashed up, fit the sticky. Honey loads up on they back block, we made Vermont Ave hot. Catches ass on lane, you see what happened to the last op. Give eviction notice how we moved him off the last block. Would've gave him 12 if I didn't miss the last shot. Caught up up the gas, he ain't even.
Now, the crazy thing is, like a lot of things that happen in the city, Main Street and the Hoovers used to be cool. They used to be real tight in this area. But, you know, things have transpired, the beef jumped off, and it's at an all-time high with the Young Life in both of these sets. But what we see, Main Street be fucking with them 9-0s. We seen Chico and M hats fucking with each other. We seen Main Streets fucking with the neighborhood Crips.
Got nothing left. Mission call set, put up, we got a pint of chest. Me and the five together, Scary and Sean Kemp. Heard niggas going broke, now they got a pound of shit. You ain't never made shit happen, you ain't took a risk.
This that shit to make you think. Ay. Make a bitch wanna pee. I could lead a bitch to water for the fee. I'm a play ass nigga, you can see.
So if the 9-0s can clean this shit up with the Hoovers, as well as the gangsters, because this Main Street hood is not too far from A-Tray either, we could see Main Streets and the Hoovers restore their relationship that they used to have years ago. It wasn't too long ago that these dudes was cool. So I think some things could transpire, especially what the 9-0s and the 100s is doing on the west side with the Hoovers, could carry over to 8-4 and 9-8 Main Street on the east side, and 9-deuce 9-4, as well as the other Hoovers, can be cool again with the Main Streets. But I don't know what the implications would truly be between Main Street and 8-7 and 9-7 Gangsta Crip. So that can still be something that remains on this side of town. But like I said, right now, Main Street, I don't know how heavy they beefing with 8-7, 9-7. They really on them Hoovers right now. So that's the main thing that I feel like would have to be cleaned up, and potentially could be cleaned up based on this whole situation. Now over here by the 9-8 Mains, you got two other neighborhood East Coast sets. You got 9-7 East Coast and Q102 East Coast. And both of these hoods is really going borderline Watts. Now, most of Watts has no implications to any of this shit that's going on. Most of it. Hoods like Bounty Hunter, PJ Watts, Hat Gang, 9-Deuce Bishop, Circle City, Hacienda the Village. These dudes gonna have really no implications with this 30 to the 100 movement on the west side, this neighborhood Crip, Gangsta Crip and Hoover shit. But one hood in Watts that does have implications is gonna be Grape Street Watts.
Great Wall. Ooh. You don't even understand how to fuck my grace talk. Ooh. Pull up on your block with my grace and take your face off. New project bitch had to cut my other grape off.
Yeah, I ain't heard what happened to Damian.
1200, you can come to bullet 100 for a grape wall.
Now we know Grape Street is known to have a beef with East Coast. It's been said that recently that beef has kind of died down. There hasn't been too much action between them hoods. But there also hasn't been a peace treaty where these hoods have came together. Now with that being said, Grape Street is known to fuck with some Gangsta Crip hoods and the Hoovers.
Boulevard 213.
So one could say, with the Hoover gangsters and the neighborhoods being cleaned up, this could potentially clean up the beef between the neighborhood East Coast Crips and the Grape Streets. The Grape Streets don't have many allies. And at one point, East Coast and Grape was cool. Like I said, that's a common narrative. Most of these hoods were on good terms at one point, if not all of them, aside from the usual blood and Crip beef. A lot of these Crip hoods was dealing with each other before. So this could bring Grape to the table with East Coast, especially the ones right next to them. 8-9, 9-7, Q102. We could see the beef between these dudes be eradicated as well. Now going back a little west, still on the east side, hoods like Front Street and Back Street, I don't think there's going to be implications there. Even though Back Street is known to beef with some neighborhood Crips, I don't think they're necessarily allied with any gangster Crips or the Hoovers. So I don't think they have any incentive to want to stop their beef with hoods like 11 Deuce, which is a neighborhood Crip set right over here. But there's also an 11 Deuce Broadway set. Now this Broadway set is also, just like 5 Deuce, a gangster Crip set. Also considered to be a west side hood, even though it's on the east of the 110 because of the Main Street divide, but that's neither here nor there. What's being said lately, also, when we talked about these dudes in our Watts video, a lot of people was coming saying they also clean their beef up with East Coast. I don't know how true that is. They've been known to historically.
Can't stop.
Yeah, I ain't seen no videos no more either.
Beef with the neighborhood Crips and the Denver lanes that's just across the 110 from these dudes. Like we said, Denver lane is probably going to stay where it's at. They're going to stand on their business over there in their hood. They're not going to be moving for no Peace Street. I highly doubt that. But with the Broadways next to the 11 Deuce neighborhood Crips, and the 11 Deuce neighborhood is going to be the only neighborhood set on the east side that's not an East Coast hood. They've been known to be for Broadway. And then you got 11-8 East Coast Block Crip. another block hood. They are part of East Coast, but they push block Crip, just like the UGs, just like the 107 blocks on the west side. This is another block Crip hood, but they rock with the neighborhoods. So what people are saying about these dudes being cordial with the 11 Deuce Broadways, we can see this area kind of cleaned up as well. Again, these Watts hoods is going to remain in they beef. Front Street, Back Street, all the other shit we named. I don't know where 10 line remains in this section. I don't think 10 line is really pushing that 3. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But 10 line is also a hood that's probably not going to be affected by this situation. But nonetheless, it's still a lot of area that's being cleaned up over here, potentially. We so deep in the water right now with this point of view. This is all potential right here. But this is something that have 80% of the city of Los Angeles cleaned up. We're not talking Compton, but we will touch on Gardena. This Gardena, Hawthorne, West Athens area, you got the Raymonds, and Raymonds is also going to be in Inglewood too. But the Raymonds on the 120th, that's going to be their largest section. And Raymond is also going to be beefing with the Hoovers. They're not far from this 11 Deuce and 107 section. So that's the beef that could potentially be cleaned up because these dudes, like I said, they're also in Inglewood. So if we see peace all through Inglewood between the Legends and the Bloods, the Raymonds could take part in that as well. These dudes also push the Deuce time. So there could be implications with the Raymonds. Now, the Raymonds is tucked right in between the Denver Lanes and the Athens Park and Payback. So they would be on good terms with Payback. But, of course, they still be beefing with hoods like Athens and Denver Lane. The Athens is a hood, a blood hood, that is probably not moving. They fuck with the Millers. Ain't no incentive for them. Like I said, the Bloods are somebody that's not really being talked about because it's not a lot of implications for these dudes to Peachtree. So most of the hoods that you're going to see still looking to really beef it is going to be these blood hoods. And you also got a few more gangster crib hoods that's in this Gardena Hawthorne area. You got Shotgun, who pushes the 3. They fuck with the gangster crips. They beefing with the neighborhoods, beefing with the Hunters, and beefing with the Raymonds. This is a set that can come to the table as well. Again, this is further, this is down to 105 in Gardena. But these are the type of implications that neighborhood, gangster crip, and Hoover peace could bring to the streets of LA. Now, a little more west over here, we do got 11A Gangster Crips. We got Imperial Village, and we got Mad Ass Gangster Crips. It's said that these 3 hoods low-key get along, and it's known for Imperial Village to also get along with some of the Hunters. So I think this area would be cool as well, where we see the beef die down, especially between the Bloods and Inglewood. So, you know, with this, again, this is just my take on it. A lot could really transpire, and truly, nothing could transpire. You know what I'm saying? Things could stay the way they are. But it's crazy to see so many hoods of such a high magnitude want to come to the table and talk about cleaning the city up, because truly, everything we talking about could actually happen because of the alliances that are had between these sets. We're going to talk about the Sudanos as well. We're going to have a video about the Sudanos, and we're going to talk about what happened if they all came together and pushed Peachtree. And what would it look like with the Sudano hoods that coexist with some of these black hoods and get along with some of these black hoods and beef it against some of these black hoods? We're going to touch on all of that. Y'all stay tapped in with the channel. We're going to keep providing the content, man. We appreciate all the subscribers. We still on the road to 100K. Y'all make sure y'all follow us on Instagram as well, man. Rap News, Street Politics.
Hey, salute to Rap News and Street Politics. Dope-ass video. This was about 7 months ago when it was heavy. And 7 months ago when it was heavy chatter about ceasefires. I talked to some of the young homies. They wasn't with no peace, and they was really they wasn't against a ceasefire though. Not like they want to be cool with nobody, no ops, no nothing like that, but stay over there. Don't come up over here, and we ain't coming up over there type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of talk about understanding. We had interviewed the 5-1 Troubles. Shout out to the real G-Face and them brothers. And they talked about just getting an understanding and even having a peace walk down Normandy to get an understanding. Like, it would be such a powerful statement. Shout out to all the hoods on Normandy, man. You know what I'm saying? And he said something that was the fact. I have never walked past my hood all the way down Normandy. I took the Normandy bus, you know what I'm saying? But even the rough, tough, and dangerous was dangerous then. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a blicky jumping on the RTD, which is now the MTA, I believe. You know what I'm saying? But I can't remember ever being able to walk from, say, the Adams to Florence. You know what I'm saying? It's just too many hoods you go through. Something's bound to go wrong. Somebody bound to recognize you. Somebody bound to knock at you, or you knocking at them. But I don't know how much of this you was able to see, y'all. I seen your phone started messing up, man. I want to let you go first on what you did here. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all look like Young Jeezy on the panel? Oh my God. Yeah, can you hear me? Oh, he probably having technical difficulties still. You know what I'm saying? But Boulevard 213 said, wait, first, let's go on Instagram. They say No Favors Mass says, salute the homie. Glove gonna get it right one day. I guess that's the 40s, the Glove gang. They said they're gonna get it right one day. What's up, DM? Do Sims. What's up? Salute. Boulevard 213 said that's not gonna happen no time soon with the 4-pack and the Avalons. Niggas really hate each other. 4-pack being Footloose Gangsta Crip, 4-Tray Gangsta Crip, 4-8 Gangsta Crip on the east side. And then the Avalons is A's and ways as far as I understand it. We try to peace with each other too many times. It didn't work. The little homie IMZ said peace treaty sucks ass. Yeah, yep, they did. It's cracking in those areas, right? I don't remember which areas he was talking about. It'd be cracking in all of those areas. It should be like waves of violence, especially around summertime. You know what I'm saying? Shit get real dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Hell no, dudes, that's damn near a suicide mission. Adams to Florence, shaking my head. Nope. Drew V ain't going for that. Them rats in that rescue Debbie Rabies veggie with Pinky 16 Vlad. Yael podcasting and hiding the yams at his auntie's house. Oh, man. But I don't know, man. I don't know what y'all think. I think that he was accurate in most of what he said. I mean, you know, he's really speculating just like a vibe of the streets 7 months ago. Things change in a day, let alone 7 months. What might have been in consideration 7 months ago might be totally out of consideration today and all the way left. You know what I'm saying? But people were just getting hip to that. But what I wanted to show y'all was that we had already been doing this. Shout out to Active Chucks, the Damu and Kiwe conversation, man. We finna go on this real quick. I think this is it. Yeah, let's go. Coming together of two hoods, two cities, South LA and Compton. So that's South Central LA and Compton. And I'm finna play this for y'all. Tell me if y'all recognize any of these people. This was a couple years ago, 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
We're trying to do something great. We got a little technical difficulties with our mic, but bear with us, okay? Because we're here and we're going to be heard regardless, right? We're here and we're going to be heard regardless. Give it up for Los Angeles and Compton! Yeah.
Oh yeah, and just so y'all know, my fat ass walked from Western and Imperial all the way here to Wilmington. It was a 5K peace walk. Compton meets LA, and we met in Watts off of Wilmington and Imperial. This is where we're all at. But let's go.
Hey man, you put this together, brother. Say something real quick, man. Tell them.
We made them. Glad everybody made it out to our first annual Seats for Peace walk. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful sight. We all did our best to make it. Some legs burning, some calves burning, but guess what? We did it. Collectively.
Tell them everybody your name, brother.
My name is Jack. My real name is Donald Williams. You know what I'm saying? I'm the organizer of the Seats for Peace walk. I'm tired of all the violence. I want to see all this stuff end. It's going to take people like us, people that's considered to be G's, or OGs, and stand up to their responsibilities and make this thing work collectively.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you,
Thanks,
brother.
Skip, for putting.
Man, you walked 5 miles, and I got to highlight the fact that you walked with your church shoes on, and you had your jacket on all the way, brother. Tell us about what we just did, what you just did, brother. Let me get you out the way of the car, too.
Seats for Peace. You know what? We've been seeing this so much on our streets, and it's about time that we walk it out. We got to come out of the walls of the church. We got to hit the streets. It's got to start somewhere. So I decided to do it today. This is what we're all about. In the suit and all, with the shoes.
Yes, sir.
This is what we got to take steps to save our lives. That's what we're doing.
Yes, sir. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you, Pastor. Tell everybody your name, man.
Pastor Tashaka Sarwell, Center Faith Christian Center, Los Angeles, California.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Tell us what's going on, man. Tell us who you are and what we're doing out here.
Also, the Godfather West Coast Hip Hop, my organization.
Shout out to Lonzo for World Class Record Crew. South Central LA, the Compton. Yael, how long you think that will be? It depends. If you say the closest parts of LA, which would be those closest to Watts, you probably talking about 15, 20 minutes from the east side, say like the 8-9 East Coasts or the Antis Park border Compton and LA. So you got some dudes over there that stay in Compton, some that stay in LA. Shout out to homie Creek. So and some that bang LA. So it's not that far at certain parts, but like my part of South Central is probably no traffic on the 110 freeway. I could leave a set on the block, and in 7 minutes I could make it to Gardena, and then I would have to just go east,
right,
off of Rosecrans,
right,
and that would be probably about another 8 minutes. So about a 15, 17-minute drive from my hood to some of the starts of Compton, which borderlines Gardena in that area. But with traffic, that drive probably 50 minutes.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a lot of driving, brother.
Yeah. But I want you to react after this video to the first video on this one. I'm glad you're back with us. I know you
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Difficulties. They was talking about President Obama and Yael. So, you know what I'm saying?
My
We
God.
know what was going on.
Here
But
you
let's
guys
go.
Revolution, promoting the media source, the media concept of hood peace, because hood lives matter.
Yes, sir.
If they don't matter to us, how can we expect them to matter to anybody else, folks? That's why we are today. My man Skip's behind the camera. Skip has been a long-time soldier in the anti-gang movement. Much love to you, Skip.
Man, much love to you,
happen, folks. If we don't do it, it won't get done.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother.
Come over to my camera. Come over here.
Jay.
Oh, wait, that's a picture. I thought it was an interview. I thought I had this interview going, man. What we out here doing? What we doing?
You know you can get one.
Yes, indeed.
Nobody get an interview.
Yes, indeed.
You can get an interview.
All right, I'm gonna jump in the picture.
Yep, 421. Salute.
Good to see you.
Yeah, that is Rockhead. I'm gonna have to release my interview with Rockhead.
Excuse me, brother. Excuse me, brother. All right. Tell us what we're doing. What we out here doing?
We out here walking with Cease for Peace to peace in the streets here between Compton and Los Angeles. And today we pray with our feet in the words of Damu Kiwe and Rabbi Heschel. We pray with our feet today.
Yes,
pray for peace.
Tell everybody your name.
And I'm Reverend Juma Smith Pollard, pastor of Word of Encouragement Church and program manager at the Murray Center at USC.
Yes,
Get Sports Fan TV and save over $3,000. Visit Spectrum.com/sports savings to see how.
Today. Hold on.
Ooh, I don't think they take that here.
Of
course they take Discover.
You're stuck in the past,
Let
baby.
this finish playing.
So y'all look at this, man. Compton, Watts, together with South LA. People out here marching for peace. Out here doing it. Black people together. It's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. So listen, people that hang out at the park, they smoking, drinking, talking about other people, talking about who ain't doing what, who ain't doing. Talking about who ain't doing this, who ain't doing that. Talking about who ain't real, who ain't hood and all that, man. This is where it shows if you really about your community or not. When you come out, march 5 miles. March 5 miles and then talk to dudes who you normally wouldn't talk to. Got Compton Crips, LA Crips, LA Bloods, got Najee Ali, got Big Rockhead from Compton, got the Nation of Islam, got Jap from East Coast, put this together. Got Gertz from Santana out here. Got a whole bunch of people, man. Too many names to name. I don't want to forget nobody, so let's just say everybody out here, man. Everybody out here. I'm going to do it one more again, let y'all see. We are on 120th and Wilmington, right outside of Watts, right at the beginning of what they call Willowbrook area. It's like in between Compton and LA. And we're here together. Ain't no arguing. You see any arguing, any fighting? Ain't no arguing, ain't no fighting. Ain't no arguing, ain't no fighting. Is this a picture or interview, man? I want to interview y'all, man. What are y'all doing, man? What are y'all out here doing?
Exactly what you've been doing for years.
All right.
The violence in the community.
Yes, indeed, man. I appreciate it. Tell me your name.
I'm Najee Ali.
And what's your name, young lady?
Dr. C.J. Taylor.
Dr. C.J. Taylor.
Lonzo Williams. And Bishop L.J. Guillory, the Ombudsman General.
Yes. What we doing out here? What we out here? What we doing? What is this?
Well, we out here for change, for one.
Yes, sir. What kind of change?
We trying to help clean up these streets, man, and try to get
I don't
these
know,
babies
boy,
to
named
so they can walk
60.
home. I'm tired.
He from 60. He was marching next to me. I'm gonna try to show y'all some of this footage, but we'll get to it.
We tired. We tired of hitting helicopters. We tired of going to listen to that. What's that app? Citizens app. We tired of the Citizens app going off left and right, lighting up like a Christmas tree. We tired. We burnt. We're trying to help clean up these streets that we once helped mess up.
Yeah, when you said you were tired, I saw you walk 5 miles. I thought you were tired from that too, though.
No, I'm not tired from that because I'm kind of in shape a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, we trying to make a change.
Hey, you ain't trying, brother. You doing it.
You ain't a part of the problem. Part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And if you don't suck a shit, you're a sucker too.
That's right. Tell everybody your name, brother.
Rod, a.k.a. Monster.
That's right. What we doing, man? Coming out of Compton, coming out of LA, what's going on?
I mean, we doing something that really is about us. You know what I mean? We in the streets. Most of the people you see are in the streets. They either work in the streets or they either banging in the streets. From the streets. You know, or they either from the streets. And to bring this unity is one step. It's going to strengthen another step for all of us. But at the end of the day, man, we need this.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're here in the city of Compton, the borderline, LA County, borderline Watts. I mean, we just here, man. We're trying to bring about positive change. And if we can do this and continue doing something once a month or whatever to show this kind of unity, then we got to make it work because sooner or later, people got to be held accountable. You know what I mean? And it ain't too late. It ain't never too late. You can join in. It ain't going to do nothing but grow.
It's gonna get bigger. So if you missed today, we're gonna do it again. Come out to the next one.
Hey, look,
Can't make it to that one. Come out to the next one. Do it again.
The beauty is, look around, man. Do you see anybody arguing or fighting?
Nobody arguing or fighting. Everybody out here, 98% of everybody out here is somewhere. You know? But if you ain't part of the solution, you're most definitely part of the problem.
Yes, sir. I appreciate. But what's your name, man? Tell everybody your name, brother.
Nobody don't know my face. Damn, I'm Joe Rockhead.
Hey, but you got the bank robber's mask on now.
I'm Joe Rockhead, y'all. Y'all know what time it is.
Without a doubt. Young fella, man, what we doing out here, man?
What's going on, people? We bringing unity out here, unity and love. You got Crips and Bloods. You got Muslims and Christians. You got every walk of life that's black descendants out here. So read it and wait. You said it can't be done, but there's a God. Remember this. God is doing this, not man and women. It's God moving the people. And also, God said, I won't change the.
Hey, Yael, you see that active Chuck symbol on that shirt right there? Who you know that nigga?
Man, he look like a big head nigga named Deuce Sims.
Damn, you might be right.
Condition of the people until the people change the condition of their heart. So change the condition of your heart. Stop being so evil. Stop being so selfish. Stop being so greedy. Stop being so mean. Stop being so hatred. Get a lot of love in you and be forgiving. Start forgiving your enemies. Start forgiving the people that harmed you. Stop being so angry.
Yes, sir. And in closing, brother, you would say what?
Peace, love, and respect.
Peace, love, and respect.
That came from both tables.
Yes, sir. All right. And what was your name, brother?
I'm Abdul Hakim.
And what's your name, brother?
AKA.
And I'm Coach Ward.
Coach Ward. All right. Appreciate y'all, brother.
But we don't really want to talk about on film. What's happening? I'm Deuce Sims, Active Chucks Entertainment CEO. I'm here with the big homie Skip Townsend. We out here to we walk from Western and Imperial to Wilmington, which is a hell of a walk, especially when you got a belly like this. But for this blackness, I'm down for that 100% of the time. When you see that active truck, you see a red and a blue. There's power in numbers, there's power in unity. You know what I'm saying? We here also to speak on overturning qualified immunity, which is a federal law that allows police to go unpunished in deadly use of violence cases. And besides that, we out here with all the brothers spreading our love. We got everybody from everywhere out here. Compton, Watts, South Central, East Side, West Side. Much love, second call. Skip Thompson.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for that.
We are not a traditional cafe. We're completely unconventional. And my Wix website.
I thought I was in witness protection for 14 years. They say this was 4 years ago. 4 years ago. The first video we showed y'all was 7 months ago when everybody else got to talking about peace treaty and understandings and ceasefires and different terms that there's when they talk to their homies was with. You know what I'm saying? The whispers amongst the gutters and the sewers, even the young killers, you know what I'm saying? We're really for the first time considering it. Shout out to the Compton, the Treetops, and the Power Rule, the Fruittown Power Rules, and all of the Power Rules and Bloods that buried the hatchet on long-standing beefs. You know what I'm saying? Y'all saved more lives than y'all probably even know. You know what I'm saying? Already, you know. So salute to them brothers. But to save lives is something that is very hard to do. It's easy for blacks to take lives. We have in LA over 50-something year histories of that tribal warfare. You know what I'm saying? So, but I wanted to show y'all that one because that video is 4 years ago. 4 years ago. I was still in Los Angeles. 4 years ago. I was talking about and pushing and walk 5 miles with this belly to cease for peace. This is something that's just naturally who I am. So when you get people like Rich Grinder, CS2 back, let's talk about Rich Grinder real quick. And this is why you don't indulge and put children, especially homosexual children, on the level of real NIGGAs. You were a non-affiliate all of your life. You never had the courage to jump off that porch. You hung around, probably smoked some weed, and when it was time to take them field trips, jump in them G rides, hop on them handlebars, and go on the op territory, you missed that whole part. You missed your corner. You just been a roamer, an individual. You don't understand structure. Because if you did, you'll be a whole lot more respectful. There's some young niggas that you just speaking up on my mind, on my name, that I might not be able to hold them back from doing something to you. Young niggas. I'm an OYG, 46 years old. You couldn't imagine the mileage on my chucks because you don't even understand what those chucks symbolize. You're a distraction. You're a poison. You're a body boy. Instead of running a whole live, just pointing out how flawed this dude is, we all flawed. But just when it comes to this and putting them on my level, I even more so wanted to make sure I focused on what we're here for. Separate what I stand for and Yael stand for and Gaga stand for, Bomani stand for, Big U stand for, Poppy LQ stand for, TD stand for, and a whole lot of others. Back to the basics. The content is content. Our people support us. Our mods is in here. They regulate. Shout out to all our mods, the Blue Wrench mob in the chat, and the mods that's on Clubhouse right now. Follow us on Twitch at Active Chucks, Instagram at Active Chucks. You can also follow Lamonte Sims' YouTube page. But with all due respect, with everything going on in the world, all these bust-ass niggas on the YouTube want to do is focus on fighting each other. Not one of them. Not one. Do I see at these type of events? This ain't the only one. I'm outside. If I get booked for a show, I'm going to be there. And trust me, nobody wants to run into me with any negative energy. Yael's been with me on them streets. Downtown. And we was all over. The jungles. You don't want to run into me with any kind of energy because it ain't going to turn out how you thought it was going to turn out. And the last thing I want to do is to bring that kind of energy to somebody that looks like me. Unless it's WACK100. Unless it's Christopher Lovejoy. Unless it's Loose Coochie Cannon. These are the ideal pictures of people you should see in the dictionary that should be ostracized from our communities. Right? With those type of people who get on here and claim they're the exposers. Remember that. Exposers. They running paperwork on everybody, lying and all kind of shit, saying they got paperwork on Do Sims. Where? Show it. $100,000 challenge. Shows I've made a statement. $100,000. Can't take that challenge. But now, these same exposers who was supposed to be running paperwork and exposing rats are being protected by the government because people expose them as rats. Hashtag ETE in the chat. Let me send something to my thing real quick, man. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to see this clip while we talking about this. All right, here we go. Thanks everybody for bearing with me as I get to this, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got it.
To put a target on our back by that message. He also said that by him putting our names out there, put a target on our back for people in the streets to assume that we're working with law enforcement. And they said he sent out a smoke signal to put a target on our back by that message.
Do y'all hear this? The exposers have and are working with and being defended by federal prosecutors in Big U's case. The same one that said Do Sims was a rat. Y'all remember that? Why didn't the AUSA say, well, we want the world to know that Lamonte Sims did not work with us. He is not an informant. You want to know why? Because Lamonte don't need them to verify or validate I'm not working with them. I have no information and present no information that only a grand jury and those working with investigators and the prosecution should have. Facts about upcoming RICO indictments before they even drop. Right? But these are the exposers. This is some real nasty work. So, is peace possible? And I say not with WACK100 and these rats. Like Farrakhan said, ain't no peace party with punks. Pun intended for Rich Grinder. We ain't hanging and fucking with no rats. Before we can, anytime you're trying to build, you got to have a solid foundation to build upon. Or eventually everything is going to implode and collapse because the structure is not solid. The foundation is not solid. So for us to have peace, and I know a lot of you non-affiliates, what they call them, civilians, don't understand and abhor structure. Those who've been to the military understand how important it is. But before you could build, sometimes you got to destroy. Sometimes you got to first clean house. Now, I'm not saying and advocating to assassinate and beat up on these informants. Honestly, I pray that none of my homies don't do nothing like that and risk taking themselves and tricking themselves up off of the street. But they should be ostracized. I mean, even though the disciples did stone Judas after he betrayed Jesus. And I'm definitely not holier than the disciples. But for those out there that are my friends that are in the South Central communities where we don't believe that's conducive to be what's best for our community, I pray none of y'all risk y'all life, y'all freedom, and take yourself away from y'all family for pieces of shit like these niggas. Please don't. Don't do it on my behalf. Don't do it on Big U behalf. Don't do it on Yael behalf. If I got a problem with a man, I don't want nobody to do nothing for me. I'll address that on my own time when I see that man. These are those who seeks to keep chaos, agents of confusion. While we out here pushing a total different agenda, we get caught up, just well-intentioned and diverted by pieces of shit, by agents of chaos, by agent provocateurs. Do you need some more paperwork after the feds said what they said about these weirdos? Defending these weirdos that they're not working with them and that's a lie. But at the same time, you know, the devil speak with forked tongues. At the same time saying that this witness who Big U has threatened on a phone call, wiretap, to break his jaw, this court should protect him. The court should protect WACK100. The prosecution in the courts should protect Christopher Lovejoy. And why is Christopher Lovejoy there in the first place? Why are you going to Big U's court hearing when your bitch ass was scared to pull up for a fade when Big U said he needed that? Thought you was rolling 60. For the last year and a half, it seems like you're more the Crip cop. You definitely never been put on rolling 60s. And I'm almost certain that you're not just an informant, but you were a plant. You know what I'm saying? Hold on 1 second. I just got a Cash App. Let me read what they said. Sometime when people send Cash App, they leave messages. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what they say. For I really don't have a 1 cent to give, but this show is 8. Damn, I can't really read it. But this show is 8. I can't really get it. I think that's Gaga. You got a comment on here. So yeah, it starts with ostracizing and running the work and understand that every one of the hoods in South Central LA have been infiltrated by these types of agent provocateurs. They want to take the shit up off of us and distract us with sports, even though I'm a diehard Laker fan, right? WACK100, entertainment, while we're not paying attention to what's going on. So we're not focused on what we should be focused on. You know what I'm saying? We can't allow that to happen. I had to tighten the bolts. Gaga said you was looking like a young king back then. Not saying you don't now, but you know the difference. Extremely proud of you though, King. You going far and can't nothing stop you. Hey, thank you, King. I really appreciate that, man. And I appreciate you stepping with me every single step of the way since I met you on YouTube. And for even pushing, you know what I'm saying? Pushing me to get that right with Big U. This was one brother who loved me, supported me, pulled up at the back to school supply drive in Vegas that we did for the kids in Clark County School District. I don't need nobody to be a yes man. When I'm out of pocket, I need somebody to call me out on it. You understand what I'm saying? Call me out on it. Hold me accountable so I can continue to grow, especially those that I love. Because I'm a stubborn, hard-headed motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But those that I love, I always consider it, even if I don't listen to it. I'm going to hear them out and consider it because I know they're well-intentioned and want the best for me. So this is where it starts if we really want peace. It starts with cleaning our backyard because they're going to be the first ones that work with the FBI to knock Duke Sims down, to knock Yael down, to knock Blockhead down, Skip Townsend down, Gertz down. And I don't really give a fuck if they knock me down. I don't give a fuck if they plant false charges on me and arrest me to slow down the movement. The whole point is, as long as y'all pick up the torch and keep pushing the envelope, keep gaining yards towards the end zone to make the future better for our next generation, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to die anyway. First, I would have been dying as a Brim. Nigga, he the stupid Brim. Duke Sims to die. The hit squad died. Blood was a water. Blah, 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 blah. All of this good old shit. After a couple years, after half the set got my name tattooed and all the rest in peace posts, they'll forget all about me. That shit ain't gonna go for nothing. No retirement plan to make sure, no college school fund to make sure my son can get an education, can go to college or trade school, right? Nothing. Now, they take my life. I die a martyr standing on what I believed in. Unapologetically. Standing for my people, for my community, the best way I knew how. It's all I can expect. Every day I work on myself, trying to push myself to be the best I could be. I pray and ask that every one of my brothers and sisters do the same. Every day. To them Bloods and Crips out there, shout out T-Top Roof No Leak. Gear Gang. But I don't know him as a Gear Gang Crip member. I heard about the stories of him as a Gear Gang Crip member, all the way to Pelican Bay and all of that. The T-Top I got to meet had demanded and commanded that same kind of respect, but he's an intervention worker. He pushes the envelope for peace, to stop gang violence within so-called gang violence, because there ain't no fucking gangs. Fuck a gang. Those organizations, those neighborhoods were only called gangs by city councilmen and the police. These were clubs. These were organizations. when they criminalize these organizations to deter organization amongst our people, they labeled them gangs. Then they started a war on gangs. And so you got a lot of people who don't understand structure and who commiserate with the laws that have criminalized the gangs. Everybody from these communities and organizations aren't breaking laws. So when they say Big U's a gang member, and when the last time he shot a blood? When the last time he shot a rival Crip? If he ever has shot a blood or a rival Crip. When the last time he jumped out and beat up a blood or a rival Crip because of where they was from? See, that's gangbanging. And if he's not doing that, then why are they even bringing up his past if they understand that he's evolved from that mind state and was on a different level? Why are they trying to discount that mental evolution to demonize that man? This is a conversation that must be had. You see these brothers out here, shout out to Blockhead. You know what I'm saying? You see them brothers out there, their mind has evolved. These are representatives from our community, not these bitch ass niggas on the internet that ain't from our community, that never had to watch their best friend when you were a teenager, mother crying and wailing in the motherfucking church because her son died at 15. Brains blew out. Y'all niggas couldn't understand that kind of pain, let alone decades of that kind of pain. So I don't want to hear this Adam 22, Vlad TV, academics talking about what the fuck they understand. In theory, you could theorize from the outside looking in of what you see, but it's so many different layers and levels of understanding into those communities. Understanding that even those that you see who've evolved to this point don't fully understand that trauma. So that's the first step. The second step, that brother kind of articulated it in the first video, Rap News and Street Politics. Y'all go make sure y'all subscribe to them. Shout out to that brother for putting that together. You know what I'm saying? And it's complicated. Some people lost their brothers to gang violence. Some people lost their fathers to gang violence. Some people lost their sons and nephews to gang violence. That's hard to forgive. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of egos and a lot of pain, sensitive wounds, and healing. These people have never had the opportunity of long-standing healing after this trauma, where this type of behavior was the norm. The first time I got it was when I moved to Las Vegas and Henderson, Nevada. I lived out there for 2 years. Centennial Hills a year. Then I moved to Henderson, 7 Hills, and I lived there for a year, and then I moved out here. This is all since I've been released from prison. I've been out here now 3 years. 3 years of healing. And every day I get stronger, but all it takes is one moment of weakness, and I could fuck off my future and hurt somebody. That's not what I want. That's not what I intend. I pray for those dudes in South Central LA. I pray for those dudes in Compton. I pray for those dudes in Watts. Y'all don't understand that you guys are sleeping giants. The 1965-60 Watts riots, fighting against the police, leading the charge, right? The 1992, what they call Rodney King riots, but I call them Tasha Harlan riots, because I feel way more connected back then and right now to what happened to that girl. Rest in peace to Tasha Harlan. Leading until they bring in the National Guards, curfews in the streets. And a lot of people say, oh, y'all dumb, y'all burnt up y'all own communities and stores, and you stupid motherfucker. You wasn't there. You don't know what the fuck was going on. It was, for people who say that are so ignorant, it was so many signs cardboarded up and spray painted, black owned. Even the Asians and Koreans who had stores and businesses in our community will put black owned, lying like they're not in our community, and we don't know that it's Koreans that own this business. Why would we burn down our own people's business? We burned down businesses who didn't give a fuck about our struggle, who didn't respect our struggle, but thought they would continue to exploit the hard-earned money that our people were struggling for at that time. And they don't spend that money in our communities. They run out of our communities and take that black dollar to Koreatown or whatever community they come from, East LA. So that sleeping giant, the bastards of the party. When I say the party, I'm talking about the Black Panther Party. The bastards of the party, the Crips and the Bloods. The world followed you. You're the most viewed culture in the world. In the world. From Los Angeles, Compton, Watts, to Japan, to Africa. They're mesmerized by the strength. When is y'all gonna stand up and lead? Sleeping giant. When the fuck is y'all gonna wake up? You think that knocking each other down is the way to do it? Well, we know what team you on. It's the agenda of our opposition, our real opposition. Salute to all of those hoods who already been having dialogue, that leadership qualities. You got some real brothers that done got out after 20 years, 30 years incarcerated. Those fathers, what they say, chop off the head to body fall, that leadership that our communities went without, that void's being fulfilled by a lot of original gangsters. And shout out to Aunt Hefe. He said something that was deep in that video, young Aunt Hefe. He said, if you're a representative, why is you talking about these young niggas? If niggas come to the table and this is the program, I don't give a fuck if you're young or old, you gonna get down and get rolled on. Bottom line, if we agree as a whole that this is the program, and it gonna have to be some demos, because niggas don't believe that fat meat is greasy. It only take a few, sometimes several. You know what I'm saying? You know, about several demonstrations. You go for the ones that think they the toughest, the ones that think that they're bigger than the program, they're the most rebellious. Those who try to walk the line like they're in structure, but they're not. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to let Yael build up on that real quick, man.
Man, salute, brother. Just seeing the video alone, man, and seeing the different communities come together, uniting from LA, Compton, Watts. That was a beautiful scene, man. You know, I know LA, I know when, you know, you go out of town and somebody asks you if you from Compton, they be like, where you from? And you be like, oh, I'm from Compton. And they be like, oh, no, I'm from LA. No, you from LA. You're like, nah. I'm from Compton, right? And then you got the same when you got a cat from California that'll go to a place like Texas. You're like, oh, where you from, man? I mean, I'm from LA. Oh, yeah, you from Cali? Yeah. You know, I'm from LA. You know, South Central. But at the end of the day, no matter if you from LA, Compton, Watts, Gardena, Long Beach, Inglewood, Carson, when it come to us, it don't matter what city we from. It matters that we stop hurting us. We're hurting us. And everybody that's against us, they just sitting back, rolling their hands together, smiling, enjoying it. I remember I was talking to a brother from the other side, right? Shout out to Melly Mel from the Tenors, Lil Melly Mel from the Tenors. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking to him, and he was like, "Man, brother, it's gonna take some real ones to bring us together." And I said it's starting right now because we having this conversation. You know what I'm saying? And you got brothers out here who's trying to do or emulate what me and Melly Mel was on the phone talking about doing, which we already started doing. And Dude Sims brought it to light earlier. You got dudes who try to perpetuate and perpetrate them being them dudes in the streets, and they don't have the credentials. You got to have credentials to end wars. You got to have those credentials. I'm talking about bloodshed, standing over, seeing your homie dying, and it's triggering you because it's so sensitive. And not just seeing it, being involved for those who were. You can't be a nigga who just lived in the hood like, oh yeah, I grew up over there. Yeah, we're not taking the fact that you lived over there. We're not taking the fact that you might have been to jail a few times. But when it comes to the loss and the bloodshed, that's a totally different dynamic. When the streets talk about unalivings, they know who's talking. The streets is the niggas in the streets know whoever they may be. And they not talking about the niggas who just lived in the hood, who stood on the sidelines and didn't participate. They talking about the niggas who participated, anticipated, was on offense and on defense. That's who they talking about. They not talking about niggas who hang out with niggas who hide behind peace, and they really the ones telling the police who got the pieces on them. They not hiding behind them. We didn't hide behind those dudes. And I say all that to say this. For every brother in Compton, for every brother in LA, for every brother in Watts, for every brother who hears the message and the sincerity and the genuineness and the honesty and the love and the voices of Deuce M's and Yael right now, may your heart be unhardened to hearing truth and correction and direction. We need you, brothers. We love you, brothers. And we need you to understand peace is at hand for us because we have it in our grasp. We can make this happen. We can be the ones to turn the tables. But remember, for every man that saith he want peace, just know there's an individual who didn't do what you did that has sudden destruction in their heart. Because they don't want to really see peace. Because they was never involved in anything for it to even escalate to that point for them to say they want peace. They didn't participate. All they did was go get a shirt made and put it on the dead homies. And go to a funeral and get their lowriders done and get a shirt made and get a hat made. We ain't talking about the mascots. We talking about the soldiers. Even the mothers and fathers and uncles and aunties and cousins and grandpas and grandmothers who experienced the losses of their loved ones, we're not taking that from you. But what we're saying is this: when the ones who are involved and was involved participating in those activities, let them be the voices. Let them be the ones to say no more. Because the snitches and the busters and the punks, they just feeding off for the, they along for the ride. And then when the peace happened, they can say, yeah, we peacing. But see, you're not the individuals. No, you gonna tell. You're gonna go to the police and tell. You're gonna hit the tip line. I remember I made a post on the South Side, Atlantic, and the Santana post, and it was peace. And I called that nigga out and I said, hey, don't try to hide behind peace when you are the one promoting snitches. See, you want to promote the snitches so you can say, oh, look, we don't need to be funking with each other because you can't have no peace with no rat. You can't have no peace with no rat. Because they a snake. They did it once, they'll do it twice. And when they have babies, they have it mice. Potential rats. Like Deucem said, ostracized. They need to be casted out, not embraced. It's a lot of communities right now that's turning into the 50-50 yard. And then those niggas is one of, oh man, we don't want no more warring with the other ops. We don't want no warring with the opposition. You not doing nothing. Niggas is turning into party crips and party bloods now. Niggas don't want no funk because the streets talk. And they not talking about no unaliving. So let's keep it like that. But remember, keep the snitches and the busters out of it because they was never a part of it in the first place. Salute to all the brothers and sisters that want peace genuinely from their heart. Salute to the brothers and sisters and the members who understand it's time to turn over a new leaf. Salute to you guys. And may the Most High be with you, and may the Most High speak to you in your heart and let you see that this is the time that we need to start turning these things around. We don't got to wait till tomorrow. We don't got to wait till the summer. We don't got to wait till next year. We can do it right now, and we're going to do it, and we have been doing it right now. Damu Kiwe. Conversations.
I got this thing in here. I got some live interviews, man. I got that day. I had I had the conclusion out there with me, you know what I'm saying? And I had the conclusion out there with me and my camera team. And we pushing the whole dirty cops accountable and all of that shit. Where the hell am I gonna be able to find well, it's been 2 hours, man. We can make this one short. We'll build on this. Everything ain't gotta come with one hit, man. You know what I'm saying? But just know this. Let's go into this chat. San Bernardino in here. Shout out to San Bernardino, bro. Shout out. You know what I'm saying? Miss Lisa, Mike B. Miss Lisa said we got to look at it and treat this like a business. And the economic power that we got, the most economic spending power in this country is from us. We just don't have an organized method of spending with ourselves. Private prison stock soared when Agent Orange got in office. Of course they did. Damn, I don't count. Real spit, real talk, P-Funk Day, Black Power is what we all need. Preach, Yael. I've been listening since the beginning. I'm really not a chat person. I'm mad as hell. I typed a long-ass message, put my 2 cents in, and YouTube punk ass wouldn't let me send a message. Hey, man, don't get discouraged, Sagittarius Jones, man. Just type it again. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they didn't want that message to come through. Maybe it'll slide through. If it do, I'm going to read it for you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Salute Deuce Sims and Yael. Peace to the tribes in North America. Keith McCauley, 52. I lost my brother in 2001. He was at work trying to park a tow truck, and the Mexicans unalived him, and he wasn't a gang member. Damn. Well, condolences to you, Keith McCauley, 52. In 2001, there was a lot of racial tensions, and they usually didn't target gang bangers that was active and where they hung out at. They would go for soft targets and non-affiliates. Coward shit. We was raised different. We was taught to go get your man. You know what I'm saying? The streets have no expiration date. Some want peace, some want war. Can't have one without the order, without the other. Hey, Lou, $1 million statement, bro. Everything in the world, in this universe, gotta have balance. Gotta have balance. You got love, you got hate, you got peace, you got war. And it's always a struggle between the two. You're right, bro. And the crazy thing is, to have peace, sometimes you gotta first go to war. You know what they say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. You can't go when people are attacking you, right? With the judicial system attacks you. The war on gangs, the war on drugs, right? The Iran-Contra scandal. And all of these other conspiracies, we ain't even gonna get into the medication and food that they make sure they give us and feed us in this country. But when they've attacked us since they've arrived here, right? The laws meant to punish us with harsher sentences than the same crime for our rich white counterparts. Like, our education is far below that of our rich white counterparts. That's why they had redlining. The rate that we get business loans far lower than our rich white counterparts. That's why we need our own. Let's get to they assume he was from 190. Oh, wow. K52 always know he shine on in with UI. Lost my older brother 2021. Condolences to you also, Monique. No peace for jive turkeys banned in every hood. Fact, they ain't nothing but the truth. Salute, y'all. That ain't nothing but the truth, Sagittarius Jones. Real talk, y'all. There's a foundation or a scholarship that should be in his name. Keith, yeah. Miss Lisa, Monique, Mike B, Bird using that 70s slang. Boston here for the check-in. Salute to the Boston. Shout out Roxbury also, man. You know what I'm saying? And then that when they having babies, they having mice. Damn. Yeah, that's a fact. Because they gonna teach them the same fucked up betrayal. You know what I'm saying? No morals. Oh man, not the 50-50 yard. Fact. Already did, Bird. Man, I hope everybody in here hit that like button if you already have it. Y'all do that. Only thing he was missing was sucking. Watching the destruction happen. Well, I believe that we in a new age. When we was talking about balance, I believe the earth in itself brings about balance. I believe that karma in itself brings about balance. I believe that the energy that is manifest within the atomic vibrations that make up the beings that we are, Homo sapiens sapiens, celestial beings, the cream of the crop of the planet Earth, made from the same that same atomic thought that created the universe. I believe that is birthed in a change and a desire for change. And that's where it always starts first, in the mind. The power of the melanated people is so, so powerful. And I see it. I just hope that our people will be able to start seeing and understanding that power. Ultimate goal of war is the preservation of peace. Sun Tzu, the art of war. Fact. That's part of the universal laws. Everything has duality. Facts. Yin and the yang. They have way more liquor stores in the hood than they do the suburbs. Yael is speaking on real truth. Yeah, that's a fact. Zini Valentine said, I'm from Roxbury. What you know about that, Deuce? You must never been on my social media platforms. I've been out to Roxbury. I got peoples out there, man. I got kin folks I love out there, man. Sorry that they from Cape Verde. Sorry to hear that, Keith. That shit pisses me off. Prayers to you and yours. Papa Dirt's in the chat. Salute. You ain't gonna find Mad Dog 2020 or Cisco in the burbs. Yeah, you definitely ain't. But look, man, we done this already for 2 hours and 17 minutes. We gonna cut this thing short. But hey man, I love y'all. I love my people. Y'all enjoy y'all evening. You know what I'm saying? Tap in. We reset, we restructured, we back on what we on. We're gonna continue to stand against those in opposition of our values, in opposition and to the detriment of our communities, and make sure that people know that Damu and Kiwe conversations are the voice of the culture, and they're the voice of the culture for a reason. It ain't because we the toughest. It ain't because we the most ignorant. In fact, it's the total opposite. It's because that we desire peace. But the war experience that we had and learned growing up will be used for us to solidify that peace. Tell them where they was at, y'all.
Man, listen, y'all done sat through 2 hours, 2.5 almost, of hot content, edification, truth, and wisdom. We appreciate everybody who